Expand yourself. Take yourself out your comfort zone. If you stay in your comfort zone, that's where you will fail. Success is not a comfortable procedure. So you got to get comfortable being uncomfortable if you ever want to be successful. Now, like I was telling you before, if you want to be ordinary, you ain't even got to listen to me. Just go on about your business. But if you are sitting in this room and you have extraordinary aspirations, then you're going to have to do extra. It's no other way. I'm sorry. You have to decide if you are willing to do the things to put you in that category. Rich people don't sleep 8 hours a day. The Bible says, he who loves to sleep and the folding of hands, poverty will set upon you like a thief in the night. I'm gonna ask you one question, I'm gonna go. How many of you in here know somebody who loves to sleep? Let me ask you something, ain't they Pope?
I want you to max out your life. I want you to max out your business. You gotta get a little bit more intense. You gotta stop being so dadgum casual. If you're gonna play the game, let's play to win it. Every single day has to be a pursuit to get better because you are ultimately chasing the destiny version of you. Do you hear me on that? Say yes. You're obsessed with what other people think about you. The thing that's gonna kill your dream is your addiction to other people's approval.
Do you have the courage to act outwardly on what you see inwardly? Do you have the courage? It takes courage to be successful. It is far easier not to be successful. It takes courage to be exceptional. It takes courage to be rich. It takes courage to be knowledgeable. And I'm just wondering, in this reality TV world we live in today, I'm wondering if there's anybody left that's got the courage to say, after all I've been through, I didn't come through all of that just to fit in with normalcy. It takes courage to be different. It takes courage to get you outside of the box. It takes courage to win. Do you have the courage to stand there though the storms keep raging? Do you have the courage?
It takes courage to act. It takes courage to start over again. Somebody said that courage is going from failure to failure without losing enthusiasm. When you have something you want to do, if you don't develop the courage, life will move on you.
Courage. Ambition requires courage. Ambition requires that you fight off fear. Fear is one of those things, one of those emotions that can stop people dead in their tracks, foregoing success and achievement. Fear can rear its ugly head in many ways. Remember the old saying, you have nothing to fear but fear itself. You can be afraid of looking ridiculous. You can be afraid of change. You can be afraid of the competition. You can be afraid of loss and destruction. We're not always born with courage. We're not always born with all the fears either. Maybe some of your fears are brought on by your own experiences, by what someone has told you. Now, some fears are valid, like walking alone in a bad part of town at 2 in the morning. If there isn't fear, there's probably a bit of ignorance. Once you learn to avoid that situation, you won't need to live in fear of it. Fears, even the most basic ones, can totally destroy our ambitions. Fear is an enemy. And let me tell you about some of the other enemies we face. One of the enemies that you've got to destroy before it destroys you is indifference. Drifting away from your ambitions. You can't drift your way to the top of the mountain. Next one, an enemy inside all of us, indecision. The thief of opportunity. It'll steal your chances for a better future. Take sword to this enemy. Next enemy on the inside is doubt. You can't believe everything, but you can't let doubt take over. Doubt the past and doubt the future and doubt the possibilities and doubt the opportunities. I'm telling you, it'll destroy your life and destroy your chances and empty your bank account and empty your heart. Get rid of it. Next is worry. We've all got to be alarmed, but we don't want to be conquered. 3 o'clock in the morning, your daughter's not home yet. You've got to worry. But you can't let worry loose like a mad dog that drives you into a small corner. Drive them into a small corner. Whatever's pushing on you, you've got to push back. Guess where illness is in your life? Illness is constantly testing the outer edges of your health plan. And if illness can find a weak spot, it'll muscle in and take the territory. Unless you've got enough discipline and power to say, I'm going to fight illness like an enemy. The next enemy inside is overcaution, the timid approach to life. And if you let it go and go and go, it'll conquer you. Timid people don't get promoted. They don't advance and grow and become powerful in the marketplace. Do battle with the enemy. Build your courage to fight what's holding you back. Do battle. Have the courage to fight back. Here are a few techniques to help build your courage. Number one, put all remote possibilities out of your mind. Don't spend your time thinking about all the bad things that might happen to you. Courageous people don't worry about the unlikely, things out of their control. They concentrate on what they can control. Number two, make a list of the worst that could happen, and you'll probably see that it's not so bad after all. Once you face your fear, you can move on. And if you've looked at the possibilities beforehand, you'll probably never be faced with the situation at all. And by contemplating what might happen, you'll chart your course to make sure that it doesn't. And the third technique to build your courage is to imagine the alternative. See in your mind the end result of giving into your fear. Then really feel the gain of following your ambition courageously. Weigh the two. See the difference. Once again, it's your choice. Be fueled by your fears or face your fears.
Decide to live your fantasy. The choice is in your hands, satisfaction or despair. Decide not to make your life predictable. You don't get much juice and happiness out of life like that. Want to create a greater sense of fulfillment? Challenge your fears. Don't allow them to rule you.
You have this kind of convoluted, limiting belief about why you can't do something right now that's your own BS story you keep telling yourself. How about you just decide it's a lie, even if it is true?
Listen, you don't have to be great to get started, but you have to get started to be great.